Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Random Conversations. I'm your host, Danielle.
And I'm Noel.
And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching us every week. Noel has also been telling me that there's a few of you that ask for an episode or where is it or when is it dropping. So I
Shout
just
out,
want
Mama.
yeah, your mama. So I just want to say thank you and hopefully you continue to watch as we go through this journey. So for the first topic, you had talked to me about Black sisterhood and if it's toxic. Just to define what Black sisterhood is, it means that we ride for each other no matter what. If you're wrong, if you're right, we're gonna always right for each other. We corral and we gang up in situations that are much needed for our support. So I just want to say that that's what sisterhood to me or Black sisterhood to me means. If it's toxic, I don't think it is. There are certain situations where it can be toxic because we do like to pit ourselves against each other, but in totality, I don't think it's that toxic. If I did something wrong and it affects somebody else, I have my friends who will back me up, but will also tell me on the side, like, you're wrong, right? But, we're going to have your back no matter what. So that's what I define as Black sisterhood. Is it showcased all the time? No. But I think it trumps the toxicity that you think, well, that you brought up to me.
I think it can be toxic because I've seen examples of it where a woman would say something outlandish like all black men ain't shit and they're all domestic abusers and cheaters and whatnot. And then the women sitting to her left and her right may not have agreed with her statement, but they won't tell her that she's wrong for painting with a broad brush, so to speak. Like you can't, I don't think you could say definitively that any group of people is one thing or another. Everybody's an individual. But instead of, trying to talk to her, educate her on what she said and how it may have come off wrong, they just co-signed it and was like, she's entitled to her opinion and whatnot, right? And so I think that kind of behavior.
I think we have no choice but to be like that.
Why is that?
Because look at the black women as a whole. We're like the least desired. We're like the least valued. We're the least in a lot of categories. So we have to stick together.
But how do you when you say least valued, least desired, you mean by black men
other races,
other races
and as a whole?
And why do you say that?
Because look at the examples that are shown out there. We're the most disrespected. If certain things happen, people are the least to come to our defense. Take, for instance, the Nia Long situation with Ime Udoka and how the Celtics treated that lady when that scandal was going on. They protected the woman he was sleeping with, but where was the protection for Nia Long? Where was the support
Nia Long is not part of the Celtics organization. They had no obligation to protect Nia Long.
But the way that the whole situation came about, nobody came, but we had to come to her defense, be like, okay, Nia, like it's okay, because it seemed like they were trying to protect the woman that was.
Oh, they definitely were trying to protect the woman. They didn't want to identify the woman, but I think it was more so this whole Me Too culture and everything like that, where you have this woman who is seen as being taken advantage of by this guy who's in such a big position. Though. I don't think she was. I think that it was a consensual relationship. It was.
So why was she being? Why didn't the woman get as much scrutiny as he did?
Remember and she was married too.
Yeah.
Right. But remember what we were talking about in an earlier conversation when we said that, men get penalized for being successful. It's like whenever you're in a situation, dating wise, and it goes wrong, say I'm a successful music producer and I start to date like someone that's in the mailroom, right? Typically, just because I thought that she was attractive and she thought I was attractive, and it was a mutual thing. It wasn't that I promised her that I would make her a manager in some department. I didn't promise to make her artist, make her dreams come true, or anything like that. But people automatically assume that because I'm in a position of power and I have a certain amount of wealth, that I must have used that to get her. I must have used that to control the situation, right? And you see that all the time. It's like once you see a man in a position of power, whenever he gets with a woman and it goes wrong, they try to point to the fact that this man is in a position of power and he probably was abusing his power. He abused his position. And I think that was what was going on there with Ime Udoka. People assumed that because he had such a high status in the organization, it's like, how could she tell him no? You see what I'm saying?
I don't think she was bound to do anything. I think she did it off of her free will.
I think she did it.
So in that case, she should have been scrutinized as much as he was.
She should have, but it's also one of those double standards.
She should have also been embarrassed as Nia Long was embarrassed. And to come back to the point that we're making
Nia
here.
Long only got embarrassed because she was engaged to Ime Udoka.
I know.
It wasn't like everyone was trying to say like, Nia Long isn't doing something right or whatnot. She was only mentioned in attachment to this guy. So she kind of caught like, stray bullets from that whole situation.
But she got more publicity. It was a focus between both of them because of who she is.
But let me ask you something. Do you think that the focus, that she would have gotten any focus if she wasn't Nia Long and she was maybe like Jennifer Saunders or something like that?
I don't think so.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is,
she's a public figure played a big role in her getting all the attention from that.
Yeah, but the woman should have got, she should have got publicized the same way because she was wrong.
The woman should, in a perfect world, it should have happened like that, because I think when you want to correct bad behaviors, all bad actors need to be held accountable. But when you only look to one person, and mostly because that one person is a public figure and moves the needle, like if you mention her and not Ime Udoka,
the thing is,
no
with
one
the
knows
Celtics
what the heck is going on.
organization, they made sure that lady was taken care of, meaning shielded from all the drama that was going on.
You got to remember that
they never even picked up the phone call.
She's a white woman in Boston.
Picked up the phone and said, "Hey, sorry about what's going on." They didn't do anything.
Well, you got to remember,
her.
she's a white woman in Boston. So it's not
surprising.
It's not surprising to me that they protected her.
With all the black females that came to support Nia in that tumultuous time. Mm-hmm. That's the sisterhood that I was referring to. Well, it could be toxic, but when it's time to, you know how they say we ride at dawn? Mm-hmm. They all rode at dawn for Nia, because of what she was going through.
I just think that it's toxic.
I'm not saying the sisterhood is perfect, because it's not. Because a lot of instances where we need to stick up for each other and we don't. But I say like it's like a 70-30 type of ratio.
I just feel that the sisterhood sometimes doesn't hold women accountable for their mistakes and their actions and stuff like that. It's like, just because you guys are, y'all all black sisters and whatnot.
So basically, you can't this just is stemming from because a black woman said that all men ain't shit, and then all the women was like, yeah, but maybe they had the shared experience.
And there's this thing called trauma bonding, but I see it a lot now where people will trauma bond, especially women. They'll trauma bond over things that they didn't personally experience. Like, oh, this man cheated on me, but your dating experience, no one's ever cheated on you up to this point. But because your friends have all been cheated on or whatever, and that's their experience, then all of a sudden you turn around and internalize it, and then you're putting stuff out on your social media, memes and whatnot, about how black men ain't shit and whatnot. But that has not been your experience. So you're trauma bonding on something that never happened to you. I feel like women en masse trauma bond about the experience of past women. When they talk about men ain't shit and the whole Father's Day meme where like they tell each other Happy Father's Day to themselves, like I'm my son's father or whatever. Because of the bad experiences trump the good experiences. But like I said, if that's not your experience, you shouldn't connect with it.
I get what you're saying. That's never happened to you. I get what you're saying, but sometimes that bond could be tighter than anything else.
Right. But
you just want to show up and be there for your
right. But when it starts,
your friends and for your sisters,
when it starts to leak into your personal life and your personal relationships, and especially like in the dating scene today, because everybody's always complaining about the dating scene and how it's trash or whatnot. I believe that plays a role in it, because you're automatically you're forming your opinions on things based off of other people's experiences and not your own. And it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I get what you're saying, but I believe the sisterhood, they do that because they just want to be there for each other, because they feel like nobody else is there for them.
Right, but the question is it toxic? Just because you want to be
I
there,
didn't.
just
I
because you
didn't
just
say
because
it.
just
I
because you
didn't
want to
say
be
it
there for
wasn't.
somebody.
I didn't say it wasn't. In certain areas, it can be, but I feel like the positive trumps the negative when it comes to the Black sisterhood. I don't believe it's all good, but majority of it can be. Well, it is good.
Okay.
I'm not saying that, there's certain areas that we have to embellish and work on, but not all of it is bad, because when it's time to corral and get the troops together to fight a big cause, that's what's going to be done. They're going to do whatever it takes for anything to be, finished.
Okay. Just like how y'all corral together to get Kamala Harris in the White House, huh?
Well, there's other circumstances behind that, and we're not going to get into it.
I'm just saying.
They say you want to get the job done, ask a Black woman to do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know you heard that before.
If you want to get, I ain't even going to say it. You're going to have all these Black women hating me.
No. What is it? What were you saying?
Nah, I'm not
What
gonna
were
say
you
it.
saying?
Nope, not going to say it.
You're not going to say it?
I'll save it.
You'll save it?
I'll save it.
If you want to get the
Put it in
job
the back
done, get
pocket.
Black women to do it, because they will get it done. Because we're already starting back here. So we need each other in order to get to the heights that we have to get to.
I mean, what the hell? Y'all tell her y'all already reaching these heights.
Yeah, but there's
Y'all
certain
most
heights
educated in your specific group and all of that stuff.
I feel like there's more to go.
Oh, there's always more to go.
Yeah.
There's more to go as a society at large. There's always improvement, but you guys are making your way. Just be careful not to step on the poor dudes along your way up.
So you speak about poor dudes, and you had mentioned to me, well, you had posed the question to me, do you think Black men undervalue Black women? They can undervalue Black women sometimes.
Do you think that they undervalue Black women? Yes or no?
Well, there's no definitive answer for that. Because not all Black men undervalue Black women. There's a few in the bunch that undervalue them, but I'm not going to group them as a whole.
Would you say the majority undervalues or
I feel like
appropriately?
You know me, I'm a numbers person.
Right. So
if I put it in percentage, I would say about...
Is it a majority?
No, it's not a majority. I don't think it's a majority. Because there's a lot of Black men out here that support Black women. A lot. So I'm not going to sit here and say, yes, they undervalue them.
You're a woman who appreciates numbers. So I'll tell you, I'll give you two numbers. 85% of Black men marry Black women. 83% of Black men who earn $100,000 or more marry Black women. So stop looking to your social medias as some of these athletes who end up with these white women, and then you're looking at them as the example of all Black men, and all Black men want white women. I think that's an insecurity that you guys need to deal with, because the reality is, more often than not, 8.5 times out of 10, a Black man is marrying a Black woman. We prefer Black women. Now, are there some men out there that's just not going to take some of the shit that comes with dating a Black woman? Because Black women are strong. They can be a little bit aggressive at times, a little loud. Some have, the word difficult. The word difficult gets thrown
Why
on.
do you think Black women are aggressive and loud, though?
Oh,
I'm asking you.
Can you tell me?
I'm asking you. I want to know your opinion about it.
All I know is that when I walk down the street, and you see Black women walking down the street, they have the resting bitch face. Like they don't look approachable.
Why do you
they
think
just
they're in
always
that
look
position,
mad
though?
and angry?
Can I ask you a question? Why do you think they're in that position?
I don't know. I guess the more educated.
Don't you think
I guess the more educated you get, you just get angry. I don't know. Explain it to me.
I feel like they're probably some of them. I'm not going to say they're miserable. Some of them actually have a resting bitch face and they can't fix it. I know I'm one of those. Like, I could be okay. Like, everything is sunshine and roses, but my face says another thing. Sometimes you can't help how your face sets. That's just how it is. But maybe a man made them miserable, and then that's why they're so aggressive.
Look, let me tell you, I've been in family court, right? And if I tell you one thing, there's a lot of women making men miserable out here. So I don't want to hear like a man is making you miserable. You walk around here miserable, and you just have this miserable energy hanging over you, and this dark cloud over you, because there's a lot of reasons
because a lot of black
guys
women
to
are
walk
left
around.
to deal with a lot of stuff on their own, and that's why they're labeled as strong, because there's certain people that just won't show up for them, the other gender. That's probably my assumption as to why some of these women can be very aggressive, and they feel like they could do everything on their own because they were left with no choice.
Do you think that their aggressive nature is what pushes away potential men who would want to come and help them in their situation?
I do.
Right.
Because they don't know any better, and they don't know you. So they're already coming in with their guard up.
Yeah, but a man, sometimes a man, a man
you
doesn't
ever
want
heard
to
of
feel
love bombing? You ever heard of love bombing?
What's
when
that?
A man just like shows affection like constantly, like you feel like, dang, like this dude, he really loves me. He's showing me all this, and then poof, they're gone, right? And then you're stuck to gather the pieces. Not saying that this only affects black women; it affects every woman in all races. But say if like, all right, y'all get hot and you have a kid. Say if a kid comes into the equation, and then all of a sudden, poof, they're gone. They have to be the strong one for the kid. They have to be the strong one to pick up the pieces that were left unraveled. So that could be another reason as to why some of the women are the way they are.
I just know that they be walking around here with this. I feel like a rain
and like
cloud
I
is
said,
just covering.
like I said, sometimes it could
you.
be nothing wrong with them. It could be nothing wrong with them. That's just how their face sets. So you're just gonna judge. And if she snaps at you, then okay, there's something going on. There's something wrong. But if she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't notice my face was set like that.
You know what?
You can't really like what's that comment saying? You can't judge a book by its cover.
Well, you know what? Because I was looking at something on because this whole thing it hits me when you talk about like dating and the relationships between men and women, and a lot of women are complaining that men aren't approaching them in the street anymore, and a lot of men are saying that they're not doing that because, they're not, either they're saying they're not going to approach you, or they're saying that they're not going to approach you unless there is a surefire signal that you're into them. Like they have to know 100% that you're into them before they even approach, right? So
eye contact,
right? But then some women is like you give them like a little quick like 1.5 second eye contact, and that's supposed to be enough of a hint for a man to know whether or not you're into them. But
or you're open to being approached.
Right. A lot of you guys walk the streets and you don't look open at all. So who's gonna approach you and you look angry?
I guess
all the time?
because we're scarred. We're scarred. A lot of women had bad experiences, so they automatically.
But men have had bad experiences. You got to understand, being a man comes with the fact that you're gonna deal with rejection. So imagine.
This
you talk to like a man would probably talk to maybe like a single man, maybe like 20 girls in a month, something like that. And what do you think his success rate is on average for the average man? The success rate.
5 of them is gonna say okay.
Maybe 5, maybe like 3 to 5, right? That's a lot of no's, right? What do you think that does to someone's self-esteem? Right? But we should
equate that to like opportunities, like.
No, but
you're gonna get a lot of no's, but that one yes, you got to be thankful for that one yes.
That sounds like something a woman would say. So like approach me because I might be that yes. Like no, like it's difficult to deal with rejection, and women should know because all the
women deal with rejection too.
And they don't deal with it. They don't deal with it well. Y'all don't deal with it well.
The rejection that men
y'all be ready to
give to women,
lay in a tub.
I think is way worse than the rejection we give to men.
No,
because men will draw you in, and then all of a sudden go poof. They will draw you in, and then, like I said before, they leave you to pick up the pieces.
I feel like men are kinder with the rejection because
some of them. I listened to a story today. This dude killed this lady because she said no.
I mean, yeah, you went to like the complete opposite side of the spectrum for that one. That's like
some men just don't know how to deal with it.
0.0001% of men who just can't handle rejection and then just snap.
A lot of men when they get rejected, they like to curse the woman out. And that's another reason why some women might come out and walk the street with a resting bitch. Like they put it on for a reason. Meaning like, dude, don't talk to me because if I tell you no, you curse me out, then it's going to be a problem. There's a lot of factors that goes into it. One, she could be dealing with a lot of stuff, maybe from a man, maybe her family is giving her issues. You don't know what's going on in that person's world. Two, like I said before, that's probably just how her face is, right? And three, you don't know how these men are going to come at you. You just don't know. They could be like, oh, fuck you, bitch. Like, you ugly. But, you know.
So let me ask you a question. So you say that women present themselves as unapproachable to protect themselves from potential,
some of them,
from potential bad outcomes, right? So why is it always, why do men always get pushback when they tell women that they should cater their dress to the type of attention that they get? Right. So say like you want to wear short shorts and a
like
crop top.
Like I told you in episodes past, some women just dress for themselves. Not every woman stepping out their house is dressed for you.
So you step out on the street and the way your face, the way you present yourself, your demeanor isn't for a man. That's how you feel. Right. So,
I'm not saying all women do it. I'm not saying all, because there is some women that might just come outside. Oh, I'm gonna get some dudes today if I put this on.
No, but what I'm saying is in general, right? When you we can agree that when you put certain clothes on, you're gonna get a certain amount. You're gonna get a certain type of attention, right? So why is it when a man tries to tell you like, yo, be careful with what you wear because you might attract the wrong type of dude, right? Y'all get a whole attitude, but you're going to tell me this whole song and dance about your face and how you'll fix your face in a certain way to deflect certain men
Maybe
from approaching you.
Maybe she wanted to wear that outfit because she just wanted to wear it. She wanted to feel good in her outfit.
What I'm trying to get to.
She might know that there's a certain attention that's going to come in her way. But if she doesn't like the person that she's receiving the attention from, she has the right to say no. She has the right to make up her face, meaning don't come and approach me.
Okay. So basically, don't tell y'all how to dress. We're not even trying to tell you how to dress. We just basically telling you if you dress this way, you invite a certain element.
If I'm not asking for your attention, then leave me alone.
Right. I don't know. I feel like women, it's very confusing sometimes when dealing with women and speaking to women, because they give you they double talk you and they give you different answers surrounding
we're very complex.
Surrounding the same topic. Right.
We're very complex.
You're very complex. You don't know what you want because you don't want dudes to approach you in the street. But then you do. You don't want.
But it's a certain type of dude you want the attention from.
You don't.
We get to pick as well. Same way y'all pick.
You don't want a dude.
Not every woman walking down the street you gonna try to talk to.
But you don't want a man to give chase, but then you do want him to give chase, right? You can't.
But it depends on the man.
No, but you can't put it out in society that this is how men and women need to treat and act towards each other, and then get upset when men start conforming to what you're telling them to do. Right? It depends on. So he's like, no, like don't chase me, but I want you. You can chase me. It's like, no, you said you don't want men to chase you, right? You said men. You don't want men to chase you. So now women are getting confused that men are not being chased and that there's no spice or there's no spice, there's no intrigue in dating.
I believe it's the certain type of man they want to be chased.
Right, but you can't put the ideology out there that you don't want to be chased. It's like with the whole consent thing, right? Because back in the day, you be with a girl and you kissing and stuff like that, and you probing, and she might say no, but like a playful no, and then all of a sudden it turns into a yes. Like you're playing with each other. It's just right? There's no more of that, right? It's like if I'm kissing you and something like you tell me no, I'm stopping. It's done. Friggin' the moment is gone. The mood is dead. It's done.
Yeah, and you
right?
gotta look out for yourself too, because if you keep going and she keeps telling you no, then you gonna
right exactly. But there's some women that want that they want you to.
I feel like that's
to keep kind of going. Like it's not like in a dangerous, not in a dangerous or creepy kind of way, but they kind of like want like the cat and mouse thing. right? They want
But
to
she
play the
has
cat and
to
mouse thing.
approve of you first, right?
Right, but
Because a lot of the men walking the street is like, okay,
right, but you
but
have
if
to,
she approves, like I said, she could be fine. And if you decide to talk to her, then she'll open up, and then there's your open door.
right, but you have to understand
But it all depends on the person.
we're operating off of a certain type of we're operating off of societal norms. So if you're telling us that we can't do that, then men en masse are not going to do that. And then you guys are going to get frustrated because the man that you want to do that isn't doing it because you've told men not to do that. You see what I'm saying? I feel now women are trying to walk. I think women are trying to walk that
I
back.
guess that message should have been delivered differently. We're not saying that all men shouldn't give chase, but if the woman looks like she's receptive to it, then you try. Then you try. We have to be receptive to it. If we're not, then don't do that. And I feel bad for the girls who have a resting bitch face and they're not bitchy at all, or they're just a nice person inside. Is because
we'll never know.
The exterior shows something else.
We'll never get
the
opportunity.
Exterior shows something else. So I guess the people who have resting bitch face or RBF, I guess you just look in the mirror and try to fix it.
I feel that. I feel
if
that
the woman is receptive to you wanting to, pursue her, then you go right ahead. That's all. I guess the message got tweaked because I don't agree with all men.
The Me Too movement.
But it really depends on the person.
The Me Too movement caused an overcorrection in the dating scene. And now women want to walk it back a bit. But it's going to take some time for that car to make that U-turn because, a lot of stuff has happened between now and then.
There's men who still do it to this day.
Right.
It's not stopping everybody.
It's not, but it's
not a hard stop.
There's a big push on social media about how men are not approaching, how the dating scene is trash and all that stuff, and I think all that plays part into it because now instead of something that was instinctual and you feeling out each other, now it becomes now you're in your mind, now you're in your head thinking, does she want this? Does she not want this? Should I chase? Should I not?
And this goes into the next topic about the dating scene being trash and why is that? In conjunction to what you just said, I also feel like a lot of people are comfortable being single now. They don't crave companionship as others do. And I also watched this TED Talk, and this guy, I don't remember his name, but he was mentioning how single people should be on the same level as married people right now.
Same level meaning? What do you mean?
He was, how do I describe it? Meaning like in terms of acceptance. Because a lot of people look like a lot of married couples, sometimes they look down on single people who've been single for a while, meaning like, okay, you guys should stop telling us to get married. You guys should stop telling us to seek out companionship because we're okay being ourselves. Like we should be on the same level right now. Like you see me as a whole person, not because I'm single doesn't mean I'm not whole. And I feel like a lot of single folks out here are just like, you know what, screw it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Doesn't mean that my life is not as fulfilling as somebody who has someone or who has a marriage. So I think that is seeping into the dating pool because a lot of people are just like, all right, whatever, if I like you, okay, then that's good. But if I don't, then that's all right as well.
I think
it's not make or break.
I think the dating scene is trash, but I think it's because of I think in large part is due to women. And I'll tell you why.
You little Kevin Samuel.
I'll tell you why. Because
he seeps into your brain.
In society has changed a lot for women, right? Their roles in society is different. The amount of money that they're making is different. The positions in the corporate world that they hold are different, much higher. And so with this newfound success and upward mobility, they are less inclined to date down. Their standards have gone up, right? And the way they interact with men is different because of all of that, right? Now,
So
nothing.
you feel okay?
Nothing has changed for men. You know, we still have the same expectations. You know, nothing really changed for us societally, right? So now we're having to deal with you guys and all the changes that's going on with you guys, right? And the fact that you guys don't want to date down, and you have this. I feel like most women have this unrealistic expectation that the man that they're gonna date is gonna make X amount of dollars and whatnot, right? So I think it's the elevation of women that's kind of causing the deterioration of the date pool, the dating game. I think it is, because I feel like a lot of men feel like they don't measure up to the expectations that a lot of women have nowadays. There's not a lot of men running around here making like $100,000.
But
right?
there isn't a lot of women out here making that either.
Right, but everywhere you go on social media, women want you got to make at least six figures.
That's social media. Not all women are like
right,
that.
But you got to understand, this is what you're putting out for
some women.
This was being.
That's
put out
what
for consumption.
they're putting out for consumption.
Right,
but not all women. They don't speak for all women.
They don't speak for all. Well, they are speaking for all women, because their
but not all women could agree.
Their perception has become reality, right? So people are watching. We're watching the social media stuff, and we're thinking like, okay, this is what all women want. And everywhere you turn, every podcast, every YouTube video, every reel you see, all you hear is women touting the same type of thing, right? So what do you think that does to a man's psyche when they're going into the dating pool? How do you think, how confident do you think they feel on average? How confident do you think they feel walking into the dating pool knowing that I make $50,000?
Men are very confident. Some of them don't care.
Some are confident, but a lot aren't. You see, we spoke about the sexual recession. We talked about how people are happy being single and stuff like that. That speaks to that speaks to a divide between men and women. That speaks to,
like, I guess, seeing all these women wanting a man who makes a certain amount of money, that gives them motivation to go out there and get that type of money so they could get the woman they want. Yeah,
but those jobs are not in abundance. The jobs that pay that much aren't in abundance. You know what I'm saying?
So that man watching that and feel like their psyche's messed up because of it, they could be that person to get a job and make the amount of money that can attract the type of woman that he wants to pull.
I don't know. Or maybe women can accept the fact that not all men are going to make that type of money, and then they'll open themselves up to be courted by somebody who's making like $50,000 or something like that. We just had a whole conversation not too long ago about Groupons.
So basically, you think that women are the reason why the dating scene is trash?
I think women are the reason why the dating scene is trash. One, because of the mixed signals that's given about what you guys want, how you want to be pursued. Two, about the ever-changing criteria for the man that you want, right? So I think those two.
As women evolve, men should evolve as well.
But women are evolving because your roles in society have changed. Our roles have not changed, right? It's like you guys have caught up to us, and now we're trying to figure out how to deal with that.
I feel like the reasoning behind that is because we also had to learn to be very independent, because not all men are going to give you that type of lifestyle. So we have to get it on our own. And once we get that, we want a man that's like on the same level. I mean, is that wrong? And then I think you talked about this like an episode ago about men always dating down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we traditionally, yeah.
Y'all always date down?
Yeah. Unless you're in like some kind of like royal family where you got to marry to freaking make alliances and shit. Men have always dated down because we didn't care about the financial stuff that you brought to the table.
But I feel like if as a woman, if you date somebody if you date a man specifically that's making less than you, certain men don't like that because they feel emasculated.
Yeah, but it's on the woman to.
And
make
you don't want.
It's on the woman to make the man.
Yeah, but sometimes it doesn't even help. Like, you could be like, it's okay, it's all right, but he still feels emasculated. You think women want to be in a relationship like that? Like, in the back of your mind, you're always thinking about how he feels because you're the most successful one out of the relationship?
mean, I see what you're saying there.
That could mess with a woman's psyche as well. Like, oh, dang, I got another raise at work. How am I going to tell him?
That's crazy.
Exactly. So you want to avoid situations like that in order to save his feelings and to make sure you're okay mentally. You just steer clear from it.
I don't know. I think that men.
So what do you expect us to do, huh?
I expect you guys to not flaunt your unrealistic expectations and to allow men to feel
certain people
welcome
are not
in the dating
that.
scene.
And if that's what they want, if they never find it, that's on them.
Yeah,
they probably learn how to be okay with being single.
There's a lot of women that's never gonna find it with those expectations. Like, you got to bring those expectations down. Like, what is the ultimate goal?
Some women are just
The ultimate goal is companionship. Is to walk life hand in hand with another.
Sometimes companionship is not everybody's goal.
So
living a fulfilling life is somebody's goal. Yeah. And not companionship. You could have a fulfilling life with your friends. You could have a fulfilling life with your family. Some people don't need companionship. Some people are okay. And I'm not speaking, I said some. I'm not speaking for everybody, because I know there's a lot of people out there, a lot of, men and women that crave that type of companionship. Mm-hmm. But not everybody wants it. And I think that number is going higher and higher.
Why do you think that number is going higher and higher?
Because the dating pool is trash. And people just grown accustomed to just being by themselves. They've grown accustomed and they learn to be happy with themselves.
I mean, you could be happy with yourselves, but I feel like there's a cap on that happiness.
Some people there isn't.
I feel that true companionship unlocks a whole different world of happiness. And it's something that I can't quantify or describe. It's something that you just got to find for yourself. But that's my true belief. I believe that life was meant to be shared. Is meant to be you're meant to couple up, pair up, and multiply. But
a lot of people's values are straying away from companionship. They don't value that anymore.
Then us as a human race is going to die out.
Well, what you?
I don't know, man. That's a scary thought to think about. You walking around here in like 30 years and there's no.
The human race is not going to eradicate just like that. You're talking about centuries from now.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what society will look like.
In our lifetime and in your children's lifetime and in your grandchildren's lifetime.
I'm not talking about the population. I'm just talking about.
And there's a lot of people out here still having kids. So don't worry about the human race.
Well, birth rates are lower than ever now.
But they're still having children. Mm-hmm. I saw 4 pregnant women today.
Yeah, eventually.
Walking the street.
Eventually.
They're still having kids.
Eventually, the deaths will outpace the births, and then we'll be in trouble. That's what the whole thing is about. But
Well, you can't tell people how to feel.
No, I'm not trying to tell anybody how to feel. We were talking about the dating scene, and I'm telling you that I feel that women are the biggest reason why the dating scene is trash. I feel that it's because of their newfound success.
Yeah, you can't help that.
And how they're dealing with it.
Some women just don't want to be bound or dependent on anyone or a man. You can't help that.
And where did that ideology come from? Because for years, there was not
back
a problem
in like the 1950s, a lot of it was the man going to work.
1950s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah, it was the man going to work. Like the man's going to work and the woman staying at home with the children. She wanted to feel liberated as well. Like there's nothing wrong with the woman feeling liberated.
There's nothing wrong with it. What I'm saying is
getting it on her own.
But what I'm saying is once you got it on your own, now you thought you were better than. And now you're...
No, it's not about feeling better than. Like I told you before, we don't want to emasculate someone.
I think that's a very small percentage of women talking about they don't want to emasculate someone. I think most of them want a particular lifestyle, and they don't want to sacrifice anything.
Well, they've worked hard for that lifestyle, so why can't they maintain it?
if the goal,
So
if
basically,
the
the
goal, if
desired
the goal,
women are the ones that are successful, which,
you said the
obviously
desired women are the ones that are successful.
that's what you're saying.
No,
Because what
the
about the women
desired,
that makes 50K, right?
Yeah.
If a woman's making 50K, she might want somebody who's making 100K, but she also has to realize, like, there's other men that's making a little bit more than you or at the same level as you that you could also pursue. Mm-hmm. Or also let them, pursue you.
My thing is the finances are, the weight of finances is just too high when it comes to women's criteria. And I think that is hurting the dating pool. I think that it hurts the dating pool. And then the stigma that certain women have towards certain type of jobs as well. Like I saw a video where it was like, if you want to find a good man, go to Home Depot. Like it was like something about the death of the club scene, right? Because I'm like, I don't even know why people go to the club anymore. Like ain't nobody dancing. You just standing on the wall, looking on your phone.
We go to day parties. Go to day parties. They dance at the day parties.
I'm like
from the parties from like 2 to 8. You're bound to have some fun.
But I'm like, who's going to clubs anymore?
Nobody does nightlife,
right? Yeah, so
I feel like the generation that does nightlife are the ones that's after us because they never had that. You don't really see Gen Zers doing day parties. That's more like a millennial thing, but they still have nightlife. They still do. The younger generations, they still go out. But if you're talking toward, no, I don't think so.
I think so. It's not fun anymore.
For us, it's not fun. For them, it's still fun.
That is terrible.
You have to, let them have theirs. Because when we were 21, 22 years old and you see a 30-something-year-old in the party, you're like, why is he here?
Yeah.
Exactly. So that, for their generation,
but
let them have their fun in the nightlife.
Our generation, when we were in the clubs and we saw the 30-something-year-old.
Like this old person.
I could understand why he in there, though, because it was fun. Like, we were getting it in. If I'm 30-something-year-old standing in the club tonight, I just couldn't go. I had insomnia because ain't no reason for me to be in this damn club
with
right
a bunch
now.
of 21-year-olds is looking for a 21-year-old. That's why they were in the club. Ain't no reason for that person.
But you don't even have to do that now. You have social media. You have all these things where you don't have to be set up in no club to do that, right?
I'm talking about when we were doing it.
No, when we were doing it, there was social media like
now,
that.
They're not. I don't know. I can't speak for all 30-year-olds, but we're not looking at no 20-something-year-old right now. We're not. Mm-hmm. Majority of us are not. We're looking for people within our age range. We're going to parties with people that are in our age range, such as they're doing the same thing.
Yeah, because ain't nobody trying to go to a Gen Z party.
Exactly. They're totally different. Mm-hmm. We're totally different from them. So
have nothing in common. I don't want to party with them.
Nope. Yeah, so they're the ones that are mostly going out to clubs and staying out till 4 a.m. and doing all those things. That's mostly them. Us millennials, we're in the house by like 9 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And we had a good day.
Yep.
Home
safe and sound.
Exactly.
Got my slippers on.
Exactly.
Comfy and cozy.
So you mentioned, I think we kind of dived into it earlier about modern women, if they have anything to offer. Mm-hmm. To anything of value to offer to a man right now. So what do you think modern women offer to men? Since we're the reason why the dating pool is trash, there's a lot of cons that you put against us. So let me hear the pros.
Pros, damn. You asked me a question, now you're just going to stick me on the pro side? It was like,
you said, do modern women have any value to a man? So let me hear what you think. We have? I'm pretty sure we have.
I mean, y'all bring some value to a man for sure. Well, depending on a woman, besides her bringing some finances into the household to kind of make things a little bit easier, some still do, cook. Some
we provide we give balance. I feel like
balance. How
we balance out the life of a man.
How so?
Like you said, with the finances, you don't have the financial burden. Mm-hmm. Intellectual, you're a lot of us are educated, like you mentioned before. So we bring that intelligence into the relationship. Mm-hmm. You're able to have a conversation with them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of women they still do household things, like they cook, they clean, they do laundry. We provide that balance, even though we also work.
Well, let me tell you something.
And I meant to look into the
I work in a field
dominated by women.
Dominated by women.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. I'm the only person in that office that brings lunch from home every day. Right? Ain't none of them cooking. Like I said, I like to analyze things from my own perceivable.
You can't lump all of
right. I like to.
You can't do that.
I like to.
Don't say all.
Analyze things from my perceivable universe, right? From the people and things that I observe every single day, right? I hate when people try to talk about stuff they know nothing about, right? This is what I know because this is what I see, right? So if you're not gonna cook for me on a regular basis, right? If you not gonna clean, right? If all you doing is sex and finances, I could be single. Like I could be single and dating still. Like, but why would I put myself in a situation that isn't too much different from my single situation? Like I could talk to the person I'm dating with over the phone. We can have a nice conversation. Good night. Right? What is it? What value you said finances, right? You said intellectual conversation. And that was it. You said some cook and clean. Some.
Because some of them don't.
A lot of them don't. A lot of them get on there talking about.
So what?
I ain't trying to cook
what
every
else
day.
do you want to add to that?
No, man. If you cook and clean and you do all the other things that we said, then I'm okay with that. You ain't even got to clean everything. Like we could share the tasks and stuff like that, but you got to be neat. You got to be I'm looking for a woman that could turn a house into a home, right?
And they also provide feminine energy, which gives you balance.
I think feminine energy is severely lacking in society right now. I feel like there's too much masculine energy.
Yeah, because some women have to be like that.
No,
because of the circumstances they're put in. Yes, they do.
A lot of women don't allow men to be men. You don't allow them to lead, right? You say you want a man to lead you and stuff like that, but I think you're just hitting important talking points that you hear all the time. Like, we need to be equally yoked, and he needs to be Christian, and he needs to lead my house, right? But at the end of the day, if he say go left, you giving him hell. You giving him hell to go left.
That's that specific woman. No, not all of them are like that.
I feel like a lot of women don't want to be led. They have a problem with the word.
Don't say a lot.
They have a problem. So do you have a do you?
It depends on the man.
Do you think
it depends on the man?
Do you think a woman should submit to a man once they together? Do you think that she should submit?
If it's the right man, then yes.
Okay, because I feel like a lot of women have an issue with the words. Like they hear submission and it just like sets off alarm bells and stuff like that.
You have to lead properly. You can't be leading me in the wrong direction.
And I feel like a lot of women.
I feel like you're leading me in the wrong direction. If you're leading me in the wrong direction, I'm gonna have to like kind of steer it back on track.
Right, but you gotta let.
But if I see that you're leading and you're leading in a way that I think will suffice, okay, then I'll submit. But if you're not leading correctly, then what am I submitting to?
But I feel like a lot of women don't even want to let you.
They don't want to. Women.
They don't want to take. They don't want to take.
You can't say a lot because
they don't want to take.
There's
their
a lot
hands,
of women out there as well that don't feel that way.
They don't want to take their hands off the wheel and let the man drive. Right?
You can't lump all of them.
You can't have two. You can't have two alphas in one household. Not gonna work. We can't be butting heads. Somebody got to take a back seat. And it's fine. Like I'm not saying that because I lead that I can't take your words into consideration when making a decision, right? But once a decision is made, we both decide to go left. We need to be going left. And I don't need to be hearing second guessing while I'm making the left. You see what I'm saying? And I feel that a lot of modern women, they feel like I make enough money, I'm doing this, so you going to hear me. And a lot of the times, a lot of times,
like I said, it depends on the man.
A lot.
If he just shuts down and doesn't want to hear anything you say, then I'm like, all right, no, this is not gonna work.
A lot of men out there dealing with situations where you're dealing with your significant other, and you always hear this word, and I think it's the worst phrase ever: "Happy wife, happy life," because it completely disregards the husband's feelings in the relationship, right? So a lot of men get caught up in burying their feelings, their needs and desires because they're trying to make their wife happy. So you'll see a lot of times they'll get into an argument, a couple will get into an argument and the dude will just like let her have it. And you know, in his heart, like he don't believe in what she's saying. You know, he feels like I could keep this fight going, but for the sake of peace in the house, he's like, I'm gonna just take this L. Right. And that happens more often than not. A lot of men choose not to die on hills. Right. But after a while, I said it to a friend. I was like, after so many times of taking a back seat, you're gonna end up choking on it, bro. Like you gotta freaking express yourself every now and then. You gotta be happy too. Because if you're miserable, eventually it's going to leak into the relationship and it'll poison it. And everybody involved, your wife, the kids, everybody's going to feel it. It's just going to be a dark cloud over the whole family.
I get what you're saying, but
right.
I feel like it takes the right man to lead. And I'm going to just leave it at that. And not every man is suited to lead. Because if they lead you in the wrong direction, then it's like, why am I leading? Why am I following you?
I agree. We've had some pretty bad presidents as examples of bad leaders, but you have to give the man the opportunity to show you whether or not he has the ability to lead. And I feel like a lot of women have trouble letting go because the ideologies that's been embedded deep in you. I don't need no man. I can get it on my own. All that stuff. You guys are fighting a lot to be able to submit. Because you have to reprogram yourselves.
Okay, I'll let you have the last word on that one. You saw me roll my eyes, but I get what you're saying. But it takes the right man to lead. So
she said I was gonna get the last word, but she had to get that in.
Yeah. So that was Random Conversations. I hope you enjoyed this episode.
I know some of y'all gonna hate me.
I'm Danielle,
and I'm Noel.
And see you next week.